Hello students, welcome to Syllabus online teaching. Today in this video, we are going to learn about figure of speech, what really figure of speech is, and the main important parts of figure of speech. We'll understand 7 important types of figure of speech. And you will even get the technique how to remember all 7 of them. Okay, then let's get started. So first of all, what is a figure of speech? Figure of speech is a figurative language. It is a language which is used to draw the picture in imagination and to convey message quicker, effective and vividly. In English, there are many figure of speech from which today we are going to learn 7 most important figure of speech. First simile, second metaphor, third personification, fourth hyperbole, fifth apostrophe, sixth oxymoron and seventh onomatopoeia. I will give you a trick how to remember these 7 figure of speech. So the first common one is simile. Simile is a figure of speech that uses comparison between two unlike things. It is done using the words like, as, so. These two things must have one thing in common. Let's understand it. For example, our soldiers are as brave as a lion. Here we are comparing two things, soldier and lion, using word as. So what is common between these two? So that is bravery. Both of them are brave. So here, as brave as a lion is a simile. Let's look into another example. She is like an angel. Here, a girl is compared with an angel using word like. And the common thing between these two is the beauty of them. So in this sentence, like an angel is a simile. Let's look into one more example to make it even clearer. Love is patient and so is my mother. Here, love is compared with my mother using the word so. And common thing between these two is patience. So in this sentence, so is my mother is simile. These are the examples of simile. Now look into the next type of figure of speech. It is metaphor. Metaphor is a figure of speech which is used to compare two unlike things. These two things must have one thing in common. Now you might be thinking that in simile also I told you the same thing, but there is a difference between both of them. So what is the difference? As in simile, while comparing we are using the words like as, so, like, while here we are not using those words. So you will see the example of simile and we will convert it into metaphor. So the example we took was, our soldiers are as brave as a lion. Here we used as, but the same thing we can write like that also, our soldiers are lion. And here again this sentence means the same. What is the common thing between the soldiers and the lion? Their bravery. So if we use that sentence, as brave as a lion, then it becomes simile, while if you are directly telling that our soldiers are lions, so this kind of sentence is called metaphor. Let's look into some more examples of metaphor. The camel is the sheep of the desert. Here we are doing comparison between camel and the sheep. Here we are not using any comparison word, still we are comparing these two. The camel is the sheep of the desert. Let's look into one more example of metaphor. Life is a dream. Here comparison between life and dream is made by saying that they both are equal without using any comparison word. So these are the examples of metaphor. We are doing comparison also while we are not using any comparative word. that is called metaphor, while in simile we are using the words like as, like and so. Now let's look into the next figure of speech, that is personification. Personification is a figure of speech where human qualities are given to the object or the ideas. These qualities may be emotions, desires, sensations, gestures or speech. Let's look into some of the sentence examples of personification. The sun smiled at us. Here we are giving the quality of the humans like smile to the object sun. To smile is the human quality while the sun is the object. Let's see some more examples like that. The stars danced playfully in the moonlight sky. Here we are giving human quality of dancing to the stars, which are the object. So it is called personification. Let's look into one more example of personification. Opportunity was knocking at her door. So here the human quality knocking we are giving to the opportunity, which is an abstract noun, which is not the human. So we can say that personification is used here. Let's look into the next one, hyperbole. Hyperbole is the figure of speech wherein they exaggerate or overstate any statement. It is done for expressing something forcibly and clearly. Let's see some of the examples of it. The river of blood flooded in the battlefield. Here to make the readers understand that there was too much blood shed in the battlefield, we exaggerated the situation or overstated it by saying that the river full of blood flooded. So this statement is called hyperbole. Let's look into some more examples of hyperbole. You are brighter than the shiniest star. Here we are overstating someone's beauty by saying that you are brighter than the shiniest star. So it is hyperbole. Let's look into one more example of hyperbole. Her brain is the size of a pea. Here we are overstating the person's personality by telling that the brain of her is just a size of a pea. So it is again hyperbole. Let's continue with the next figure of speech, that is apostrophe. Apostrophe is a figure of speech where an absent or non-existent person or thing is addressed as it is present and capable of understanding. It is an exclamatory figure of speech as exclamatory is used here. Exclamation mark is used. Let's look into some of the examples of them. Life, I cannot understand you. Here we are talking with the life as it is a living object. And we think that it is capable of understanding. Actually it is not. You also notice the exclamation mark after life. Let's look into one more example. Why don't you ever work, you stupid computer? Here we are talking with the computer like as it is present or it is understanding us. Actually it is not. And notice the exclamation mark after computer. Look into one more example. Blow, wind, blow. Here we are talking with wind as if it is a living object and it is capable of understanding us, and even you have to notice the exclamation mark after blow. So these are the examples of apostrophe. Let's look into the next figure of speech, that is oxymoron. Oxymoron is a figure of speech where words are used that seem to contradict each other. It means the one word says one thing and the other word is saying another thing. Oxymoron are really useful in written English because they can make effective titles, they can add dramatic effect, even can add flavor to speech, and sometimes it is used to achieve comedic effect. Let's look into the examples of them. It is an open secret. Here you can see two opposite words used in the same sentence, open and secret. It means if it is secret, it cannot be open, and if it is open, it cannot be secret. So this kind of sentence is called oxymoron. Let's look into the next example. All the politicians agreed to disagree. Here you can see two words, agreed and disagree. Both are opposite to each other and are used in one same sentence. So it is called oxymoron, where in one sentence you are getting two opposite words. Let's look into one more example. He is clearly confused in his decision. See now two words, clearly and confused. Both words are opposite to each other. So it is oxymoron. These are the examples of oxymoron. You have to remember in one same sentence you are getting two opposite words. Let's look into the last type of figure of speech of ours. It is onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech where a word is used which imitates the natural sounds of a thing. It is a word which is sound of that thing. Let us understand it by some examples. The buzzing bee flew away. What is the sound of the bee here? Buzzing. As we are using a sound of the bee, it is onomatopoeia. Let's look into the next example. The large dog said bow wow. Here, what is the sound of a dog? It is bow wow. As in this statement, we are using the sound of dog, bow wow, it is onomatopoeia. Let's look into one more example of onomatopoeia. The snake slithered and hissed. Now here the sound of the snake hiss is used. So again here we are using the sound of snake. It is onomatopoeia. Wherever you are finding the sound words like buzzing, bow wow, hissed, mew, whatever the sounds we are writing like that. So that is onomatopoeia. Now I will give you a trick to remember all 7 figure of speech. Just take all the names of the figure of speech and take the first letter of it. Like simile, S is the first letter, hyperbole, H is the first letter, apostrophe, A is the first letter, metaphor, M is the first letter, personification, P is the first letter, oxymoron, O is the first letter, and onomatopoeia, O is the first letter. So write down the first letters of it. What it becomes? The word shampoo. While combining these all first letters, it became acronym shampoo. If you'll remember like this, it will be easy for you to remember all 7 names. Now let's quickly revise what we learned in this lesson. So what is a figure of speech? Figure of speech is a figurative language. It is the speech where we are drawing mentally the ideas quicker, effectively and vividly. Then we discussed the 7 types of figure of speech. They are simile, metaphor, personification, hyperbole, apostrophe, oxymoron, onomatopoeia. So in that first one is the simile. A simile is a figure of speech where the comparison is done between two unlike things using the words like, as and so. And these things must have one thing in common. The second one is metaphor. Here also we are comparing two things where one thing must be common, but here we are not using the words as, like or so. Instead of that we are directly doing comparison. Next one is personification. Personification is the figure of speech where human qualities are given to the object or the ideas. These qualities may be emotions, desires, sensations, gestures, speech. Next one is hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech wherein exaggerate or overstate any statement for expressing something forcibly or clearly. Here overstatement is given, which is really not possible but we are using such words to show that how much expressive, how much to exaggerate. It is overstatement. Next one is apostrophe. Apostrophe is a figure of speech in which absent or non-existent person or thing is addressed as it is present and capable of understanding. Actually, it is not. Here, other thing you have to keep in mind that exclamatory figure of speech means exclamation is also used. We are talking to the thing which is not in the existence as it is present over there, like that we are talking. Next one is oxymoron. Oxymoron is a figure of speech containing words that seem to contradict each other, where one word says one thing while the other word is saying another thing. It is useful in the English like to give effective titles, add dramatic effect, comedy effect, and even add flavor to speech. And seventh, onomatopoeia. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech where a word which imitates the natural sounds of a thing is used. It is a word which is sound of that thing. The words like buzzing, hissed, bow wow, these kind of words which shows the sound like knock, okay, tap. These are the words which are used in onomatopoeia. If this word you are finding in the statement, it means you have to be very much clear that it is onomatopoeia. It is very simple to understand it, to identify it. And finally, we looked into the trick to remember 7 figure of speech. If you want to remember the names of it, you have to remember the acronym shampoo. S for simile, H for hyperbole, A for apostrophe, M for metaphor, P for personification, O for oxymoron, and again O for onomatopoeia. Here we are completing part 1 of figure of speech. Thank you for watching. If you have any confusion, you may ask me. What you have to do for doing good practice of it, you have to see the poems of your textbook and find out from each line that which figure of speech is used in the line. If it is not compulsory that you will find each figure of speech in one single line, it may be in the paragraphs also, you have to find it like that. Underline those words like, as, so you will say that it is simile. Same like that other all 6 I have given. All this these 7 figure of speech you have to practice from your textbook poems. Thank you. Have a good day. Stay home, stay safe.